was gifted this advent calendar by Snappa, so I was busting them open to catch up, because, very loud, it is the 20th, so I have some digging to do, and what it is, it's one of those like dig your own crystal type of deal, and trying to feel the holidays a little more. Out here, not many people put up lights. I mean, granted, same. Did a tree though this year. Went with the pink tree. Something about this certain pink. It's like kind of like a 90s Barbie pink. I think the closest I got was baby pink. I don't know. That with a really bright red tartan is I just really liked it. When I was doing the tree, I was just like I don't know, in a like a depressing spot, so I wanted something totally different, and yeah. And I'm not one to avoid any colors. I actually really, really love colors, and trying to further my understanding of color theory, because one thing I have the most trouble with, let me make sure this is picking colors. So when I'm trying to make, say, pixel art, even, or just drawing, I never know what to make the shadow and the highlights, like what colors, because it's never just gray and black or white. Like, for instance, a lemon, you would add some purple to its shadow, and I have my little attempts, because I've always drawn and painted and just various little things like that, but I'm really trying to put in an effort to truly understand how. I didn't really think this through, because this is going to be very loud. Well, it's not going to be too loud, but it's probably going to be not nice to listen to. Ooh, I should have grabbed the apron. One minute. This will be a little better. My grandmother's apron, just to avoid it from getting on the skirt. Oh yes. So, hope everyone's having a beautiful evening. Kind of just hanging out tonight. It was very cold today, and unfortunately for the next few months I'll probably be complaining extensively of the cold. I'm just in Florida through and through, so I don't really have the proper clothing for it, but slowly getting some like real wool cardigans and sweaters and stuff that's made out of real fibers, or synthetic that's like designed to you know, be warm. I'm not above that. This is for survival. it's getting a little bitter up there. And for someone who doesn't have many pants, I feel that. Yeah. I hate to say it, it's so satisfying with the chalk. Ooh. Not exactly ASMR, but it's very satisfying how it breaks apart. Trying to avoid getting a bunch of chalk on my face. This is looking weird. Oh yeah, I'm a little tired, but you know, it's the cold. It'll do it to you. It's just, it makes you want to cozy up so bad. this is not reflective of my digging skills out in the wild. Like, there's a few spots I really want to dig for artifacts. And artifacts to me is just pretty much anything I could find in the dirt. Like, on Hypalexo and Lantana, there's a nature preserve called, whoops, why don't I know that? Oh, anyway, it's quite nice. I believe it's agate or agate. I really like doing wire wrapping. I'm not very great at it, but I like putting these nets. This is just a green, one of those green marbles that came in something, a pot, I believe. But the netting, not sure how well you can see. It's like crocheted almost. I believe it's the Viking weave or something very similar. But the wire I actually picked up at Walmart like 10 years ago. And it's very, very thin but very sturdy. And it's perfect for that. And I was able to find some really, really thin copper wires. I'm excited to make a copper one. And really large ones. I really want to start making larger pieces. And I have some paintings planned. I just have to get the materials. I think I'm going to start switching to like painter's paint, like house painting. This is horrible framing. It's a creation station. It's not meant to be organized. It is organized. It's organized chaos, though, for sure. It's all tools and supplies. It's not like, you know, I don't have guests in here by any means, unless they want to make stuff. And in that case, because ever since I moved away from my hometown, it's really far from all of my friends, and I managed to get one friend out here to come create, and, you know, I'm very honest, so, like, yeah, honest with my feelings and stuff. She couldn't sit in here for longer than a minute. It was too chaotic for her, and she's like, yeah, I can't sit in here anymore. One day I will find a group of crafting buddies, and I'll be like Santa's elves or something. I'm already dressed for the gig. And I already know I'm going to be using these for like clay or other crafts. I never finished. I will be very careful with this. When I was in high school, I used to get dress coded a lot, and once one of my friends who is a lot shorter than I am helps me out by trying on the same dress, and it was perfectly fine on him. Because back then I had such a hard time finding clothes that fit because pants are too short. If they're long enough, they're always too big. My goal for 2024 is definitely to learn how to sew. And I look kind of like I'm from a kid's book, but that's okay. I'll be real, anytime I get one of these sets as a gift, I always just kind of like dunk it in water or run it under a hose or something. But this clay, they just picked a really good material. It's so satisfying. Oh, violence is life. This clay is quite nice. It kind of reminds me of like gym chalk or something. But it's very satisfying. advent calendar. Haven't done one in like, God, a long time. I really am trying to farm all of the traditions, like in the UK, the Christmas poppers, and, or Christmas crackers, and in Germany it's not for Christmas, but I think I kind of want to alter, what is that called? This thing doesn't really fit. The Christmassy thing I could, or holiday-y. What was I? Oh, it's these cones, and it's for kids when they go back to school, and because the first day they'll trade the stuff in the cones, like it'll be a bunch of toys and candy, and I always wish that they had that here because it's a really great way for students to introduce themselves, and maybe I will pull up the stream on here. This is a horrific angle, oh my god. Oh yeah, I am quite far. I think I'm like a good 4 feet. This is a pretty horrendous angle, so I'm gonna rework it. Everything's not where it's supposed to be right now, so it's kind of like y'all are in my copper, my scrap copper, quite literally. Not a little better. It was just so up there. That makes a little more sense. Oh, here's the spoon. It's I believe this is from the branch. Someone gave me a huge branch, a kratom branch to make crafts with, and that's how I made all those jewelry. I try to get as many like different types of plants as possible. Like it could be seeds, dried leaves, anything, because I really like incorporating stuff with a little more meaning than like craft store materials. Which no hating there. I'm not hating on craft stores by any means, but I just, you know, I personally can't stand the thought of buying like a bag of dried flowers, but that's only because in Florida, I mean, even the weeds flower, and there's always something. So I always, yeah, get really cool plants that way from people just sending it to the P.O. box. Last time I got, what was it? Cotton. My friend's dad was growing cotton, and I didn't know it grew in Florida. Well, in South Florida. Because I've never succeeded growing onions or anything like that. They rot before they get a chance. And I don't live in the zone. There's this one plant that I'm absolutely obsessed with, and I've never seen it in person. There's a bunch of plants on this list, but it's the Egyptian walking onions. They're kind of like scallions, and the tubers at the top, when they kind of like crinum lilies, when they like bulb, the weight brings them to the ground, and that's how they grow. So it's almost like they're walking. Let me put this here. I have the chat up here. Very cool. What was I gonna say? I love making dream catchers. My first question is always like, what materials are, because you can make them out of anything. Especially if you have any like of those weedy vines. Here we have muscadine grape. I never really see grapes. Every now and then you will, but really good for dream captures. Cajun cooking for sure, absolutely. My old neighbors growing up were from Louisiana, and anytime I had to babysit their kids, I also had to babysit a pot on the stove, because there was also always something boiling, stewing, something. And every single time it took a sip out of that magical pot, it was always something I've never tasted before, and exquisite cooking, like really, really good. might be a little bony at the second, but I really, really adore food. I think food is definitely good enough and necessary enough to succeed in world peace. Like, I always say, like, if you think you don't like a group of people, which is just, you know, that's ridiculous to begin with, but if you think you don't like a group of people, just try their food. Like, listen to their music. You'll love them. But, and another fun thing is, like, if you just have a bag of potatoes instead of just making, I mean, nothing wrong with a baked potato, that's good anytime, but you could look up, like, Filipino potato side dishes or French potato side dishes. It's almost like, it's very easy to travel the world from home and, like, taste. I really like historical recipes. Townsend's here on YouTube. They actually have a catalog for like historical reenactment, and the channel is just, it's really lovely. You should try to keep my uncle using. Oh yes! I meant to grab them. Well, I could write on this box. I think I've heard of etouffee. I think I have. Oh, well, there's the small one. This just, it got torn to pieces. But I still have it. It used to have a photo slide. There was an abandoned house downtown West Palm Beach. It was very much an art couple. The whole top floor was just art materials, and I wish I grabbed everything, but when I go into abandoned buildings, it's literally just to photograph them and just to experience them before they're gone. I don't really take anything or anything like that. Like, maybe if there's like a coin, I'll have a lucky coin from it, but no taking anything. And that way, if like cops do come, like, you know, you're not causing anything. Anyway, long story short, this one had hundreds of photo slides, and since people started sleeping in it, they were just getting pushed out, because eventually the door was locked, and every time I didn't feel like climbing through the AC hole, so I just started going to the building and collecting the photo slides as they got dragged out of the house, and I had one in here, but it's in I just made it out here. It had a heart, so this had the picture, and the other one had a heart in it, but this looks weird. But let me just flip it. It's nothing spectacular, but I think you'll appreciate it for its simplicity. Muscadine vine, and just very simple, because I tried one and I overcomplicated it, but there's the slide. Let me put like the light maybe. Nope. Why did I think that was gonna work? Okay, that's not gonna work. It's a woman on the beach. And I actually have quite a few pictures of her from that. And this is sulfur, and this is saltpeter or potassium nitrate. And really fun to add to, what's it called? Incense. And, yeah, it's just a simple thing. When I was in middle school, I used to steal my dad's beer and bring it to the dudes that kind of lived in the square downtown Lake Worth, and he made the dream catcher part for me. I'm not sure from what, but as you can see, I tried to do but I just did too many loops and I overcomplicated it. So I was gonna like just try to make it kind of fractally, like pinching only a few, or make like a clover type, but I'm not sure. Oops. I have a few of these from him, and he would drive them on the statues around Lake Worth, like put halos on them and then give them to me. And yeah, so every few years I'll like take whatever I made on it and redo it and make something new. Let me get this back up. Thank you, Townsend's. Townsend's is great. I've made a few of the recipes on it because like the candied lime peels, they came out really, really good. And I saw this like group of kids make these mushroom gummies, and I think they're called like gummy mushrooms or something. And I can't stop thinking of them. They look delicious. Like they were literally little gummy bears, but mushrooms. It's one thing I wish there was more in this area were edible mushrooms. Like up at north, you could find chanterelles. I'm never sure if I'm pronouncing it right. They're beautiful though. I really, really want to find those. I've been really wanting to go up to North Florida for a while now. We have a place called Casadega. This is very weird. I was trying to do like what people like wearing a sweater vest over long sleeves, and every combination I came with it was looking weirder and weirder. And I should start sewing anytime. Ooh, whoa. And I'm not sure, like, you know, the origin, of course, or anything like that, but this has been a very much a treat of an experience, and I will be able to put these to use instantly. Nice kind of combination, too. Because, a few things I've been wanting to try is mosaics. You could get bags of cut glass, like little glass tiles and squares, and you just glue that onto a vase or like a candle holder, and then mortar. Is that what it's called? For tiles? Is that mortar? Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. Because stuck is something else. Why am I drawing? Anyway, but you can make Moroccan glass really easy, and it looks like a really cathartic experience too. Knitting, nice. Yeah, I haven't done much mosaics. Like I've done kind of a few cup holders. I know where that went. Oh, here it is. Like this, but it's not really a mosaic. I have a ton of these tiles from the same. Oh, I started telling this story earlier, but I never finished it. Lantana, there's a nature preserve on Hypalexo, and it's got a big bird watching tower. It's actually quite cool. But I think the selling point, other than the gopher turtles, is there was a house there in the late 1800s, and then in the 30s it was renovated, and in the 70s it was burnt down for training firefighters. I found a bunch of the tiles. Within 5 minutes I found a 1919 Buffalo nickel too, but I dug up as many tiles as I could, and my soldering isn't the best, but it's got a story, nice Florida history, and it's a coaster. The only thing I have to do is get some cork or something, an equivalent. I'm trying to find cork scraps. Ooh. Let's see. It was very, very fun. And I was thinking that mosaics would be really easy with the soldering because it's just copper tape. I had no idea how easy this was. I knew someone who used to do stained glass, and I asked for years for like just to be shown some stuff, and it's just like, I don't know. My friend had a stream on today talking about gatekeeping, and it is a huge issue in the crafting community. I remember one of my friends got into metalwork, and it was right when I was starting to learn it, and so I asked her for some tips, and she just, instead of like doing anything, she just corrected how I was pronouncing stuff. And yeah, so that's why I'm very destined to teach how to craft and make stuff out of garbage to anybody, even if they don't want to know. Because, yeah, there's a, shout out to Radix Verum also, because, you know, blood is thick apparently, I guess, I don't know. Just shout out. Oh, see, is that 8? Okay, not, then I could ask. Because I get the mortar. I think it's called mortar. And, but how do you put the tiles onto the wall? Do you have to, like, clean the wall really well and glue them and then put the mortar on? Is it like a drywall thing that you put on the wall and then put mortar on? Because, rest in peace, Blue. I'm not gonna think of it out, although, they chewed a hole in the wall, and I always thought it, like, I always, like, when bathrooms have the tiles halfway up, so that way steam and water doesn't damage the wall anyway, but, yeah, so, oh yeah, there's correction, like, for instance, I'm really glad, oh, now I don't even know what the saying is anymore. I used to think it was they taught me into doing something, like taught. Like they taught me something and then I'm doing it now. I don't know why that made sense for so long. But thankfully, I said that in front of someone and they're just like, what did you just say? I'm very thankful because I've said that my whole life. But, yeah, no. It was just like, I don't know. I really like that like, I don't know. I think it's also kind of tainted because I know every crafter or vendor has experience, like, you know, half the people there are also crafters, so, like, a lot of people would be like, oh, wow, I really like that, I'm gonna make something like that when I get home. Stuff like that, and I feel like that is, like, a worry. I don't know, I can't make sense of, like, why you wouldn't, like, pass knowledge on to, like, if we were all on the ground floor just, like, learning, like, really useful things, and then when we're hanging out with friends, teach whatever you learned, and, like, they teach whatever they learned, and it was like that, I feel like we would all become inventors overnight. And, yeah. And, stuff like that, like, kind of like, factories or something. Or I believe how, like, the tech world refers to as think tanks. I don't know if that's strictly tech, but I do like that thought. Or like a summer camp for, just like humans to go and learn stuff. I know there's a lot of community centers, and like some states and counties have really, 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 really cool libraries that really are really conducive to creating with community. But I don't know, I've been such a hermit and loner my whole life, and the time like where I was like, if I really want to achieve like the things like with art or any creative like idea, like really gotta just like get over being shy or whatever it was, not leaving my room, and you know, get into the world. That was in 2019 and like we all hung out in big groups, and like half the group wouldn't know the other group, but at the end of, you know, hang out you do. And gosh, debates, everybody had different political like leanings, and we would have intense debates, but it was so fun. And like there was no like anger or anything like that. Like it would sound like anger, like straight up calling each other idiots and stuff, but there wasn't anger. Like it wasn't, certainly nobody was like trying to shame each other online or anything like that for having like, I see it all the time now, and it sounds like it sounds like shit posting. Like people will be like, so and so, like said this, that means he's the enemy, and I really want to give specific examples, but I am comfortable with my own ignorance, so I'm not 100% sure on anything, and I would like to be a little bit more certain with some political. Yeah, now, like, I don't know what's gonna happen, like, if you can, like, come over later and burn your house down or some shit. Like, it's intense. I don't get it. I see some states legalizing shrooms, and at this point, I'm like, there is a chance, there's hope, because, like, I don't know, I think it's just, like, the ego can be inflated to extreme amounts, especially when you're behind a screen and a keyboard. I don't know, because I'm sure you see in comment sections all the time, just, like, obviously they don't think that, but I don't know. It's just weird, man. It's just negative. But, gosh. I'm glad that, see, I think, too, like, I'm a self-content person, and, like, so many people I see are, like, really, really struggling. But, like, I was born an only child, and rarely leave my room, so I was kind of, like, prepared for this whole time. But I really want to get, like, groups of people back. I think groups are exactly what everybody needs. And, because, like, people with mutual interests is already quite difficult to come by. Like, you can find local clubs and stuff. Oh yeah, 100%. There's never been so much free entertainment. I don't know why anybody would pay for Netflix at this point. Because, holy. I've been trying to branch out, like, all the different news channels I watch. So I am trying to find more channels. Like, things that people have, you know, like, maybe not 100% trust in, but, like, at least trust it more than... How do they call it, like, legacy news channels or something? I don't know. I try to look at every direction, though. And, I keep saying I'm trying to avoid the news, but at the same time, I'm also trying not to miss any of it. If that makes sense. And, ooh, this one is really satisfying. This ended up being so fun. Because I've gotten a bunch of this. Shoot, I keep getting off track. Trying to avoid the squeak. Holy! See? I was the only child, and, like, my mom and dad have a bunch of siblings, but they're so scattered, and nobody really talks to each other, and, like, and I had the thought, like, and now I see memes and stuff, but it was, like, kind of, like, I guess an epiphany. Years ago, I just, like, thinking about, like, oh, you're so lucky to have, like, all these siblings to my mom. I'm like, oh my god, if I procreated with an only child, they would have no aunts or uncles, and therefore no cousins. Which is crazy to me. Like, that's crazy. That's gonna be a lot. Families used to be so big. And, like, see, my grandparents were the glue of my family. And when they passed away, just everybody fell apart. And, just when, oh, that's so nice. Nice green. And it's a really nice shape, too. So perfect in one of these net things. And, yeah, so when they went, my family went with it. We managed to do a few holidays, but every single birthday and holiday, we would congregate and just have the same thing. Hot dogs, burgers, you know, the whole basic cookout, beans, potato salad, simple. And, I don't know. I guess I got really spoiled about it or something. So, and I think, like, family is so important, and, like, my dad and I butt heads all the time, but it's not enough for me to, go no contact or whatever people are doing, which, to each their own. Everybody has their own stuff, and that's always respected by me. But, like, for my personal life, like, it's not enough for me to do that, because, yeah, I only have one family, and yeah, so, always, and then, of course, like, the family that we create, well, excluding children, because you're also creating them, but, like, the families of friends, like, groups of friends and stuff, like, oh, gosh, everybody I know is just, the loneliness, and it sucks so bad because everybody's so spread apart, especially in Florida. Gosh, each friend is an hour or more away from each other, so it's like, just the distance is so perfect to keep it from, like, being able to meet up or anything. And Florida does not have the best public transportation. One day they will, though, because there's so many people moving here that would have to, like, do that, right? Hoping. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Oh, man. Yeah. That's the bittersweetness of, like, life, I guess. Because I know now the Christmases, like, are very small, but, like, in the future, like, they're gonna look totally different from now. And I'll look back on these days, even. And, say, like, 6 years, it's gonna be 2030, which, God, the older you get, the more you realize how fast time actually does go by. It really goes by fast. And, like, I'll look at the clock and it'll be 1 and then it'll be 8. It's crazy. Yeah, the internet, I never, like, I never had any, like, negative feelings about the internet. I just never had the internet. But, gosh, I wish I was on it so much sooner. Because when I was a kid, like, I couldn't find anybody with mutual interests, and everyone just, it was like the height of Jackass and Viva La Bam or whatever, so everyone just wanted to be pushed down hills with shopping carts. I'm fine with that. I have fun too, but, you know, after that, can we, like, try to make, like, I don't know, a dress out of my sheets or something? My mom would come in and my furniture would be completely rearranged, and I would have, like, a complete dress made out of very familiar looking fabric, and then she would look at my bed and my sheets would be gone. And I can't imagine, like, that. I'm starting to see it now, like, the potential and stuff, like, just being, just putting your interests online, I should say. Because they say if you build it, they'll come. And, like, it's just, like, little things like that. I do miss having, like, more kind of, like, online community spaces that isn't Facebook. But that's what Kynto's for, quite literally. And, in an effort to not turn this into an ad, because I am trying to get a bunch of people in there, to do this. Where is it? Every few years I reread this, and, Snap was reading it, so I figured this would be a perfect time. Man and His Symbols, Carl Jung. It's one of those books I feel like every human should read, because, and I know a lot of people feel that with that, because it's just, a really, really nice, easy, like, funnel to just look at the world a little closer. And I don't want to just make up quotes, but I don't want to just say Confucius said it, but someone did. And they said something along the lines of there's two truly global languages, and that's math or numbers. I forgot if they said math or numbers. Math and symbolism. And I've always been fascinated with symbolism. Because I always have creative block, and anytime I need to fill some space, I could always interpret exactly what I want to interpret via symbols. Like, I mean, this is just like just a doodle, and I never finished it, but it's the closest thing next to me. I just am really able to, because I don't know how to draw, but I draw all the time. And I really enjoy doing so. Got some monks. Yeah. Oh, fortune telling. My mom made this for me. It was just a quick one, but it's nothing. It's just the doodles. I like the little imps though, chewing at the roots. This is Subtropical Botanica actually. It's got everything I have to type into other recipes and stuff. All historical recipes and folk traditions worldwide. Southern Zodiac. So, if, let's see. Oh, must be on the page. Yeah. Oh, hey. It's me in 4th grade. Well, it's like the summer in between 4th and 5th grade is really into Darcy from Smashing Pumpkins. And played bass. Let's see. Some spawner. There's the Sumerian family tree of their pantheon. And all this will be on Kynto. Well, it'll be on Kynto too. Patstone? Patstone. Hello. Patstone. Oh, here's the Dharma Center in Lake Worth. If anybody is ever in the area. Sorry, my hands are really shaky. I'm cold and caffeinated. But I have a beautiful shop, and it's really fun to volunteer with them because you get to actually spend a lot of time with the monks, meaning you get to ask way more questions, and it was really funny once, because I'll go to any school of thought, any spiritual center, any church, anywhere. I just really like, and really that's the only spots that are talking about, like, any form of philosophies. Like, they don't have, like, I mean, colleges do, but I don't know if I could just walk on a college campus and go to debates. That would be interesting to call about, though, because something that's, like, I don't know. I don't like, just hearing the same thing over and over again, so I try to, like, just go through my extremes, I think. I don't know. Easiest way to learn a ton of new stuff, and you never regret learning, and, anything, and so, long story short, one of the traditions for a monk, you would hand him a Rinpoche, that's his, please excuse my ignorance if I mispronounce or mislabel. But you hand him a white scarf and he'll put it around your neck and you touch heads. And first, real quick, every single time that I did that, it was like I had a concussion. I was seeing stars. It was really weird, and I still can't explain that. And I think the one reason why I am so pulled to religion and different stuff like that is because I am very cynical, and it's not by choice. And so, yeah, I honestly envy someone like who would not like envy, like, you know what I mean, unhealthily, but I think it would be quite nice to be able to like do the whole it's in God's hands and just like be able to have the courage to do stuff. I really respect that in people, and and it drives a lot of people to perhaps be better. I'll find out more this weekend, hopefully next weekend. I really want to volunteer at the local church because I haven't been to any of the local spots other than a few of like the Eastern. Anyway, I'm so off topic. I just want to finish this. My mom reached out and shook his hands, and it was just really funny. But he laughs, and they have the most infectious laughter and the most infectious smiles, and they're just really, really, really genuinely amazing people to talk to and get to talk to. And a lot of times in a county near you, you'll have a Vajrayana or a Tibetan tantric Buddha center, and there's many different sects. There's one an hour or two away, Theravada Buddhism, and it's a community from Laos, and let's see, and a few Hindu temples with wildly beautiful music, and it's just really, really, really nice to be able to experience that as well as learn and just, I don't know, it's such a treat. I've done that my whole life. I started walking to the Buddhist and this one in 5th grade. I went to Catholic school, and my mom never cared, and I've been going there ever since whenever I'm in the area. And yeah, it's just, the art is wicked. The art is insane. I really should grab the book. Whoa. Wow. The art is insane. Yeah. Oh. I think it's at 6. Yeah, the news is insane. What a watch too much of it, nightmare on the mind. Watch too little, just as much as anymore, because I think because we know that there's so much happening, it's like I never know what the headline's gonna say when I look at the TV at this point. Very cool. I don't want to get into too much trouble, but I find a lot of paganism in Catholicism. There's just so much ritual and so much symbolism, of course. And I still to this day though love going to Catholic churches because the art is just, I mean, even just sitting alone in a church, the art is just, wow, transformative. It's just so surreal feeling. And I went for 10 years to a small little school called Sacred Heart, and that's where I still will go. And really funny, the amount of times I almost got kicked out of that school. And same thing with my cousin. And when I was there last, the principal called me her pride and joy. I was dying inside. It was beautiful though, full circle. I can't complain there. And wow. There's actually a fun thing that's happening currently. There's a allegedly, I don't know, there's a CCP-backed cult that has infiltrated, well, not infiltrated, but is masking as Tibetan Buddhism, and it's called NKT, New Kadampa Tradition. My uncle actually wrote a book on it, and they emailed him saying, like, how he wants to suck the Dalai Lama's titties, and I'm not even kidding. Like, the emails in the book. It's called Polluting Buddhism, Exposing the NKT Tradition. And it's wild. It's essentially a sex cult. And they'll convince the women that they're dakinis, or like sex goddesses. They're tantric. It's wild. And I haven't really heard much about it, news or anything like that. Just that I heard a long time ago about a rogue sex cult in Buddhism, but it was years ago, and then I never heard anything about it, and then bam, it was wild. Very cool. Just was. I think also just with the biblical chaos that is just happening, it's really brought in Snappo too, reading a lot about all the different groups, and like because there's so much history between now and like these origin stories, and like it's wild. And a few months ago, it wasn't like an epiphany, but I was like, gosh, it's the Torah, Bible, and Quran. It's almost like a trilogy. It feels more like a trilogy, and I know it's because of like the timing and everything, and it's just wild. And there's so many like the same characters are in these books, and it's wild how many similarities are. And I was always so aware of that. I think that's what always made me like just keep a super open mind with different religions, because there's so many similarities and so many wires crossing that it's the same like stories in a lot of cases. And it's just so wild, because like I don't know, I want to talk about it so bad. That's why I'm trying to get people into Kynto, because I'm dying to like actually talk about what's happening in the world, because everybody's saying something different and everybody has different opinions, and if one person has one opinion, then the other person doesn't value any of their opinions anymore. So I don't know what to pay attention to, and I don't know what like I should like take you know, with a pinch of salt, but not with an entire spoonful, because I don't know, and I feel like there's videos where they show the celebrities doing the MK Ultra glitches, because every time I gotta say something like, oh wait, because I know how permanent streams are too, and my opinions change, but the recording doesn't, and I think I'm very wary about that. Hello, Walter! And, but there's, oh my god. It's like, I don't know, it's so biblical. It's crazy. Yeah, I think that's why I went and looked for a church to volunteer at, because, going to a service is one thing. You can't really ask any questions, or like, why is this, like, what is the symbolism of this, or when did this become a tradition, and stuff like that. But when you volunteer, you're around all the parishioners and staff, and they usually are pretty well read, and really easy to talk to. And hello, Ricardo Dupont. So, in Palm Beach County, my dad's best besties pizza place is only going to be open until New Year's, so I'm trying to make it so just have like a little pizza party there. And Walter, hopefully, if he's free, can bring duck hunt. Walter has pretty much every console, and it's so brilliant. So next time you have like, you know, a meetup somewhere, you know, rent a Walter. He'll bring duck hunt. He'll bring the like OG consoles, CRT, whole nine. He'll turn a corner into the most nostalgic, like, you'll feel like you're walking into your childhood bedroom. It's brilliant. And I can't wait until finally start bridging the distance between everyone I know and have get-togethers, because really close to downtown West Palm Beach, and there are tons of venues there, and all the people that run them are the coolest, like, nicest, most down-to-earth people up, and then there's so many good shows there to begin with, and just classic spots. One spot is called Respectables, and they always have something going on, so if you're in downtown West Palm, they always have something. I have to be mommy. Yeah, no, that's incredible. 6, wow, that's incredible. That's literally a rainbow of humans. Isn't there 6 colors in there? Oh no, 7. Almost. Depends on what rainbow. That's incredible though. Have a beautiful night, but, I mean, yeah. You're going to have a beautiful night. That's insane. 6 people. I don't really look at, like, I always see people, because I never understand why people say, I hate kids. It's like, they were only kids for a few years, and you were one? Damn. I never understood that. There was always a disconnect with me with that. And, like, I could understand the thought of having them, like, for personal people, or people to person, but just, like, I've heard thousands of people just, like, call them crotch demons or whatever. And I always want to ask, like, is it just, like, to be funny, or is it, like, you really think that these kids are, like, permanent fixtures and they're not going to be adults? I just don't understand it. But, you know, to each their own. Anybody's allowed to talk shit about whatever they want to talk shit about. But sometimes I still have questions. Because there's always a why. I mean, I guess. I'm hitting that hunger point, so I'm starting to ramble a little bit. Have you tried Southern Cajun food like gumbo? Okay, so gumbo, like sometimes my mom makes gumbo, and I know it's not like gumbo. She, like, it's not like, you know, like Gucci, like traditional. Just like sausage, shrimp, and rice, I think is what, I mean, I don't know if that's gumbo, but that's what she calls it. It's really good. It's really, really good. Oh, this is perfect. I have to bring the notebook now. I've been collecting recipes. I used to be in this, Facebook group, and I noticed a lot of people cooked, and I was like, dang, 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 and so I started collecting the recipes, putting everybody's name and everything, and date. I have the notebook somewhere around here, but Instagram, if any recipes, please send them to my Instagram, because that would be lovely to try to make. I made my friend's meatloaf, a girl in the chat's meatloaf, and it was the best meatloaf I've ever had in my life. And it was her parents' recipe, and I think I got about like 10 to 12 recipes, and I've already made a few of them. Meatloaf. Shoot. Yeah. I made the mistake of looking up pimento cheese the other day too, and turns out it's just shredded cheese, mayonnaise, and pimento peppers. It's a southern delicacy, but I love it too. I had no idea. Meatloaf. Meatloaf is a loaf of meat, It's just ground beef, breadcrumbs, and pretty much anything you want to put in it, and you bake it, and it's very old school. You'll see it with often paired with mashed potatoes and peas, and very, very old school. And like probably here, I feel like 50s to 80s, like meatloaf was king. I feel like that's it's notorious here. That's all I can say. I did not like it when I was a kid because my parents go all out with the old school meatloaf, meaning ketchup on top. But if you think about it, it's just sugar, well, corn syrup, sugar and tomatoes, so it kind of caramelizes, and it is quite good. When I was a kid, I just didn't like it. Now I won't refuse any food. And describe a Twinkie. Can't see them in American films. Twinkie, I'm not a fan of. I don't like that like whipped cream kind of cream that's inside of stuff. It just tastes like oil to me. But I had one frozen, and it was also like 10 years ago, and but Twinkie is a shortbread cylinder filled with an airy, oily cream. Apologies to those who like Twinkies, because I know a lot of people are really into them, unironically. And there's plenty of things that I'm really into that would absolutely disgust most people, so no judgments at all. I think it's the cream. If I do come into contact with a Twinkie, I eat it kind of like a corn on the cob. Because shortbread's always good, even if it comes in a little. The thing is, like, too, also here, the food has gotten to an extreme level of bad, like packaged food. And a good example is like UK canned tomato soup, American can of tomato soup. We'll have an encyclopedia of ingredients, and then the one in UK will just be like tomato puree, water, salt. Tart a la Brie. Why can't I write on camera? Ooh, Daru. I successfully made cheesy broccoli. It was a request, and usually the cheese just doesn't melt or it separates, but the secret was to make a roux. And I just butter and flour and browned it a little bit, and the cheese magically melted into it and turned into like a sauce from a jar or something. I couldn't believe how well it worked. And you know, frozen grapes, yes, frozen blueberries too, frozen blueberries. And gosh, I miss them. I mean, it wasn't an addiction, obviously, but really, really a fan of the frozen blueberries, specifically. Huge bags of them, but now they're like $12 for a huge bag at Publix, so I haven't gotten my blueberry, but yeah, frozen fruit in general, frozen mango is amazing. I couldn't believe it. Saute butter a little bit. Oh, I'll add onions next time, because sweet onions and cheese might sound gross, but I feel like that's good. And it just melted so perfectly. I really do want to master cooking from scratch, like bread and stuff. Pretty much just use Instant Pot and Snap grills. I cut vegetables, and he does the Instant Pot because the thing is a little terrifying. They make them really safe now, and I've seen Breakfast at Tiffany's. I've seen the thing explode, the pressure cooker, but that has changed the way that I eat. So much nutrition like at once. Sometimes it's hard to stop what you're doing to go and cook a meal. And so what is there, McDonald's or or something like that, and yeah, you'll be full for a second, but you don't have energy, and like I don't, and so like I used to go to an Ayurvedic doctor, and she said my Vata dosha was out of whack, so I just need like really like filling and like nutritious hot food. It's really worth doing one of those things, because Ayurveda is one of the only like medicines that I personally know of. Probably ancient Chinese medicine too, because that's widely practiced, and there's quite a few offices in Lake Worth. But Ayurveda, it's to the individual, and it's nice. Oh, nice. Corn would be so cool to grow. Oh yeah. King crab, yes. Yes. Yeah, no, I always wish I could grow corn. Which, I don't know why I don't just throw the seeds in the ground. Sometimes I'll ask people that I deem more knowledgeable than I with plants, and they'll say, no, you can't grow onions. And then I'll look on a local group and someone's like, look at my onion harvest. There's beautiful onions possible. And corn is another one. And there was it's such a shame it closed. New Gen, out west. It's like 2 hours away, but it was so worth the drive. They had localized corn, and like real corn, but by the time the corn would have been harvested, it was already shut down. And I was so excited to try it. Like true local Florida corn. Any local corn would be really, really, really nice. Because corn, it's not overrated one bit. It's sweet, it's refreshing, it's crunchy. I love corn. And, cobia. If you're into seafood, Ricardo, in Florida, especially, I'm not sure where else, anyway, cobia, C-O-B-I-A, is my favorite fish in the world, and, every now and then Publix will have it. There's not many seafood markets that I know of left, so I have to go find any new ones, if there are any, but cobia, it's so clean, it's so filling, and, like, almost buttery, and, I really do want to, like, get to the pier, because the coast is really nice here. I really want to get on camera before it changes too much. Big Cut grocery store. No way! And they don't mold or anything? That's brilliant. I need to try onions. I have scallions and chives, and they're like 10 years old. Well, the scallions are probably like 5 years old, but the chives are like 10 years old. And someone just gave me a little bunch of them. And, hello, big man from California. I was looking directly in this camera as if it, Florida, we could grow a ton of stuff. Like, I wish I could grow more greens and, things like that, but things fry so easily, and if you don't water them, they're fried. Like, I had about 40 potted plants, mulberry, elderberry, lemongrass, because I was making my own little nursery, just, a little, you know, delivery nursery on bike, but I went to visit my parents. Within the week I was gone, the neighbors cut down their pine trees, and I had no idea how much I relied on their shade. And so when I got back, everything was fried within a week. Because in little pots, they don't. So, how tall? I'm 5'9". The same height as Tomb Raider, fun fact. I don't know if that's true anymore, but about 15 years ago, I looked up online how tall Tomb Raider was, and she was 5'9". And I was like 4 feet at the time. I'm gonna grab a little bit of a coffee so I don't forget. too, very nice. I always wish I was... I really like climbing up stuff and like digging around, so I always very much romanticized being much smaller. I can't imagine like the crazy places I'd be able to get into. I'd be a terror. That's one thing I'm certain of. But I craft. So I make handmade jewelry and handmade goods, and digging up. I really like to find just about anything. Unfortunately, my area of Florida isn't very old, so I can't metal detect or find like true artifacts yet. Found like a few things at like some historical sites here and there, but I really like looking for shells, shark teeth, and just pretty much anything that you can find. I used to dig a lot at any dumps I could find, but there was only one that was truly old. Found a polio vaccine bottle. I think I shared that last time. Never had anything intact. So if anybody's in Florida or has experience or knowledge of Florida, I was actually thinking of hitting up Florida. Shoot, what is that channel called? Old World Florida? I'm drawing such a blank. Old World Florida. How about the beach? Yeah, no. I haven't found any jewelry. I haven't gotten a working metal detector yet. I've metal detected a few times at the beach, but I don't think the metal detector just worked. And but I'm looking at one of the wands just to keep in my bag, and my shopping list is like very long because Florida is a tourist state, and I've never really treated it as such, so I really want to start getting out there. And there's a mine called Fort something. Oh gosh, Fort Drum. Fort Drum, and it has the most beautiful calcite crystals. And but I could imagine if you go to Palm Beach with a metal detector, you'll find so much stuff, even just from like tourists, constant floods of tourists. South Beach is gorgeous for that. The sand is extensive, and one thing about like that area in Miami, the sand is like, I don't know, finer. The coral and the shells that you find there are almost like polished. There's some of the most beautiful things. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's insane. Naked fall. It's insane. It's intense. Naked fall. Florida does have a ton of nudist beaches and nudist colonies. One with a group of friends one year, someone told us that there was a bonfire in the middle of the woods. And we got there and it was a nudist colony. 100%. Good night, Valentine's life. I'm sure I'm going to be here tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. I just, working from home, and I know a lot of people are stuck at home. It's always a treat to be able to come on and talk to people. It is black coffee, only because I didn't want to take too much longer. I used to only drink black coffee. I don't know why. It's definitely not the taste. I think it's because my aunt drinks her coffee black, and I have like too much respect for this woman. And so I always drink my coffee black because I'm old, but got quite into sugar. I'm trying to cut down on coffee because I do, I've been drinking a little bit. It's just because like my mom is still very fragile from a literal coma, so even though like I haven't been going out as much as I want to, I'm kind of just planning for like in a few months to start bending and stuff, and being out there, because there's a lot of green markets and stuff like that, and that is my goal right now. And so I got a pile full of jewelry ready and a ton of what's it called? Vintage and comics and old cassette tapes, little antiques, and stuff like that. So, ooh, I did not think about the battery. Let me grab a charger. I also bring this, so this, this. I don't want to spend too long looking. I can't find a charger anywhere. Kynto is an avatar chat, and that is where all my pixel art is going. And I'm very much a beginner still. And long story short, you could build rooms, have live audio so you could just talk to people like it's a phone while building, and record GIFs. I'm going to be making Negative Nancy, the comic that I wrote when I was a kid, and I'm going to try to make it in pixel. I started making the little characters, and there's a few other things. I'm making, oh, that's where they are! I wanted to use these in pictures because I'm going to be making, or taking Etsy pictures. My eBay pictures, I try to still make good pictures, but let's see. Jaime Patstone. That's the second time I see Patstone, I think. It reminds me of Pat's Trick. And that's a song I haven't heard in a long time. Oh, that's pants maybe. Oops. Yeah. Hey, they're good. Oh, they're really good. And they sound good. These are quite good. These were at Publix for $2. Every time I get bubbles for pictures, they really just don't do much. And every time I try to make a concoction, it doesn't do much. But those are quite nice. Oh, amethyst. Very cool. I forgot this is what I was supposed to be working on. I have quite a ways to go, because there's only 5 days left till Christmas. So I have like 9. Wait, I can't. 12? Wow, I can't think at all. I can't wait to rinse these and then make them into something special. The dollar store has a lot of good stuff. I guess they do. They do. And ooh. I grew up in a little coastal town, so I didn't really need a car or anything like that. But since moving like more central, just there's no stores, and I really don't like getting everything from. I mean, I pretty much stick to eBay, but it drives me nuts getting the stuff on Amazon because of the stuff like the metal stuff, especially turns really easily, and it's just like the quality, and I can't see it in person. And so I'm hoping with all the developments there's going to be some stuff, because I've been trying to find like an affordable little car I could soup up, and Florida is just like, we're in the middle of like a shift or something. Like I can imagine this was kind of like the 50s in Florida when people were moving there at extreme rates, and that's where all those really, really cute, beautiful houses, the 1950s style houses, and no complaints or anything, because, you know, I make handmade jewelry and sell handmade jewelry and bends and stuff like that, so more the merrier, and, but it is a little troubling to see people pushed out, and, yeah, and the public transportation in Florida is just like atrocious, and that's what I really enjoy. I like trains and buses. I never saw anything wrong with it, and you know, because I'm always writing or drawing or something, so I like being able to sit there and continue working. But now I'm very excited. I have a few hours in my pilot log for private pilot's license, but I don't have my driver's license. Somehow. So I'm working on that now. Finally. Last 2 years it got a little muddled because I was supposed to get it 5 years ago. Or 4 years ago. This pandemic just like kind of paused my life a little bit. Never stopped making stuff though, so got a lot done in that regard, and a lot of plants in the ground and a lot of trees growing. Got about 8 mulberry trees, so depending on where you are, like what zone you are in, I'm more than happy. I could maybe send it to. I think you could send stuff to post offices. I looked it up not too long ago. Like how to send people stuff without a PO box, because you know, like I know people aren't a fan of putting their address into stuff, but when I start, I need to figure out the best way to do that anyway, because I make a lot of stuff, and I really want to start doing giveaways, and my mom's a little Southern belle, and she's like the queen of gift bags and stuff like that, and even she's getting on me, like, why haven't you done giveaways yet? And I really want to do that, so. And I really like being able to send the stuff that I make out and have it reach as far as possible. And I really like some of the stuff, you know, I'm just using what I have, and I wish the metal was, that's why I switched back to copper, because I really do try to make stuff that, even though it's not sterling silver or gold, like, it'll last forever, and it won't break, and, I mean, resin's plastic, but, I mean, like, the chains and stuff like that, I really want stuff to last, and, I think because growing up, in the early 2000s, and now everything is made, just for show, and, like, zippers break so easily now. And, so I'm trying to find, like, army surplus stores to find pants that don't fall apart. Like, I obviously need pants designed for trenches, because every time I buy a pair of pants, they don't fit. They're not, like, you can't, like, affect the size without sewing. And that's what this pile of sewing machines are for, because I will make one work eventually. But, clothes are at an all-time low quality-wise, and I'm getting very upset about it, to the point that I might write a little message on a poster board and stand in the middle of the street to see if anybody else agrees, because it's heinous. It's getting harder and harder to find vintage clothes, cause for resale, but I expect that. And especially here in Florida, there's a lot of collectors, and I can't wait until I get to do this in real life. One day I'm gonna find a team of archaeologists, and I'm just gonna be like, look, if I could keep like a bead, I will dig every day, all day, for hours for free. It's an excellent workout. Get some fresh air. And it's so cathartic, because, like, I mean, obviously these aren't artifacts, but, like just gently brushing the soil, I just love it so much. And, I think that would be the coolest thing to volunteer for. I used to go to the archaeologist, meetups at, what library is that considered? It's one of the West Palm, or Palm Beach County libraries. Really, 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 really nice, little meetups. And they just talk about the local, what we have out here. Like an hour or two away, there is a place in one of the biggest preserves in this area, and it's Big Mound City. I can't remember if it's the Jaega but it's a city, and it's from mounds, and really, really cool. There's not a lot of information on it. There's only a few videos on YouTube about it, and I really wanted to go with Snappo because he's got a ton of drones, and to be able to find stuff, because when we go out there, like, all of us, like, always look for something different, and my favorite is, although, like, I don't know, you can find shark teeth out here, and when you find shark teeth out here, that's where people were. Ooh, I'm sorry, I was not looking at the chats, shoot. I'm starting to get really hungry, so starting to, get rambly. What the heck are you doing? Oh, yeah! So this is an advent calendar, and it's got crystals in it. And it was gifted to me, and I'm just like, oh, perfect for a stream. There's only 5 more days left until Christmas, so I got some work to do. They're very, very satisfying to open. I might give it a rest, though, because I am starting to get lazy with it. And it genuinely is very, like, meditative. Or it can be. I like that kind of, like, repetition, like, sometimes. Because then you use, like, that to think about other stuff. And it's amazing how many ideas. Ideas to me is what makes life magic, to be frank. Where do they come from? like magnets, how do they work? Just kidding, of course, but the ideas. Like sometimes I'll just like, and they're also like localized to the individual, because I'll just sit there and I'll just be like, wow, I should make a bracelet that has like this and that, and like stuff like that, or deciding to do, I don't know, ideas. I love when someone says, ooh, I have an idea, and it's like, ooh, please tell me. That's amazing. Ideas and dreams, very cool stuff. And like everything starts off as an idea. They're essentially seeds, and they can be planted. And yeah, ideas. My laziness is making a mess. Ooh, I see it. Oh. This is so satisfying. Usually when it gets to these, I kind of just like spray them with the hose or break them open, but this chalk is really fun to, like the first few ones I was like trying to like practice designs. I always wanted to get into carving stuff, but I have such shaky hands and I can never like measure things properly. I keep saying I want to go to a carpenter's shop and just ask, hey, can you teach me how to measure stuff? They have this like motto, measure twice, cut once, and measure once, cut twice. But I can't measure for some reason. Every time I measure something, I just need to know exactly the thought process behind the act of measuring. Because the little lines on the measuring tape are quite large. Oh, it's opaque. I really like that. It's glass, and I forget what they add to it, but it's glass, and it's got such a cool glow to it. It's called opalite. There's another name for it called argonon, and I think I like that better. It just sounds more sci-fi, and it's quite nice. I'm probably gonna make like net them all together and into a rope, so I can hang it like on a window, kind of like this. This is just one of those like from a Dollar Tree or something. Those stones that people put in things. Found it in a box in a garage, and I just netted this really thin wire, but I really like it. And in the sun, like when it's hanging, it's got like light that shines out of it. That's quite, yeah. Yes. I always feel weird buying crystals. I would say like 90% of my crystals are from yard sales in Lake Worth. It's kind of a crafty community, so you find a lot of really cool stuff. Gosh, go to Lake Worth on a weekend. It's worth like making a vacation based on that, and just yard sale. I think that would be one of my dreams. Really, is to take an RV and go across the U.S., even just across the state, and on a weekend, and yard sale, and then like all morning yard sale, and then find like cool places to eat, and then spend all night playing in the treasure that you just you just scored. That is like that's what dreams look like to me anyway. I think that'd be so nice. And because this year 100% I have to find a place. I've been wanting to do this since I was a kid. I really like tedious stuff, and like just sitting there like in your own zone, just like something. I want to pan for gold. I want to so bad. I feel like I love beachcombing. I could sit. When I'm at the beach, I am not just like sitting there. I am crawling around like a crab, looking for shark teeth and shells and all that. And I could do it for hours, so I think I would be more than fine panning for gold for hours and hours and hours. And so that's my #1 goal right now. There's a bunch of #1 goals, but that's a huge one. And I think it would be so fun to do it as a group and do like either RVs or something and camp, or I don't know. As long as there's hours and hours of panning for gold, I think that would be so cool. Oh. I'm not really, now I kind of want to go to a club to like, only because something different, but I'm not too into like going out like stuff like that, but I do like nature preserves, and like those are things I could spend hours in, and I'm trying to have micro adventures now, and even if you can't plan a trip an hour away or like out of state, have a micro adventure where you just like Rando Knots was good for that, I feel like, because it like gives you a random address somewhere that statistically you wouldn't go to. Okay, I did not know it was 8:45. Dude, store closes at 9. I have to get going. Did not think so. Look at the clock. That means I don't know, 10 to leave. Okay, that makes sense. It's hour 30 something. So much for quickly popping on, but the time just escapes me, and I really, really enjoy coming on and, like, this sounds weird, but you're literally, no, I feel like we're all online, I swear to God, because I can't find many like minds in real life. I have a small group, and we've all been scattered because of just everything that's happened in the last few years, but that's a huge reason why I'm trying to get everyone on Kynto too, because if there's a meeting spot, then people could branch out from there, and like the class is 18 plus too, so it's like it's going to be like a lot of debates and stuff, and I'm really excited for that, and collaborations, because music is so easy to make sounds, and it's so easy to send files, so it's dead silence in the background, and that's why I fill it with speech a lot, and but I want some like atmospheric stuff in the background, and I think it would be really cool to kind of start collecting sounds from the ether and like include those. Just what is homogenized, man? I don't know. Why is my brain? I need food. Find me on Instagram. I will be here every day, cause yeah, and anything I will. I always forget, every time I hit end stream, I'm like, oh shoot. And right now I don't have like a central place to post. I have a Discord and stuff like that, but I don't really use it yet. But Instagram is good, and Kynto, because I'm really trying to get like groups again, and because I swear we're all online, and it's just there's so much distance in between people, and the internet makes it possible to just do so much. It's incredible. What a time. Thank God for that. For real. But I'm gonna go food, and I'm gonna go eat some food. And yeah. And also, if anybody plays Modern Warfare, big man, if you're on Modern Warfare 3, I know people, I mean, it's such a treat, and it's smooth feeling. I've been able to get way more progress, still not the best, but it's, I don't know, it's a very valuable pastime because it's just really high, fast paced and stuff like that, and wakes me right up. And I'm trying to get people on that too, so we could have a podcast, because you could stream from the PS4, which I'm kind of new to tech, because I'm coming from crafting and living next to the ocean and riding my bike everywhere, to kind of living a lot farther and getting into all kinds of new things I never thought I would, like pixel art and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. Happy salute. Happy trails, and yeah, I'll be here and there. So come find me. Oh, you'll know what yeah. Like, this is so weird looking. I wish this part wasn't so high up. But anyway, have your chance. What console? PS4, but I believe it's cross console, and yeah. So I usually put, if I put it, okay, maybe I'll have enough time. 2% battery, but I keep forgetting. Oh no. Oh shoot. Ah! There's supposed to be a space in between it. I'm not sure which lady parts is the one I'm on. But yeah, so I was just both if you are on it. And after I eat, that's exactly where I'm going now. And trying to get Snapple on because he's not going to be able to upgrade any of his weapons. And I'm trying to. You can't beat him, join him. I'll be real. I just suck at it. So the swords were driving me nuts. But I tried them and gave them a go, having the time of my life with them. So I just keep that as the secondary, and I could finally like get people close up. I can't hip fire very well, so all my time is being spent like aiming. But by the time I aim at someone, I'm long gone. So yeah. Anyway, that's happy chest. What is that?